Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know I've been gone for like a long time. Not that long, but like 2 weeks. I don't know. I think because like a lot of what's going on in the world, and then me working on top of that and being pregnant plus taking care of my son, it's just a lot and it gets very overwhelming. And I know I say this a lot, but literally like that's the reason why it's super hard to like film and kind of stay consistent. So I decided to film today for you guys because I put a poll up on my Instagram and I asked you guys, did you want to see like this type of video? And then you guys said yes. Don't mind the background, my son is screaming. But yeah, so if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I'll insert it right now on the screen. But yeah, so that's pretty much the reason why I've been gone, but I decided to come back with this video for you guys. You guys wanted to see it, so here it is. I've also been very procrastinating when it comes down to this video. I'm not sure why, I don't know why, but pretty much here we are. So this is gonna be my my 17 and this is gonna be like my pregnant at 17 and 19 like story time, like teen pregnancy type thing. I don't know what I'm gonna name it, but yeah, so this is pretty much gonna be that video, and we're just gonna start off now. So to start, we're going to start with my first son's pregnancy. If you guys know, if you guys been following me on here, baby C, Dominic. So he was my first son. So let's just start back. So me and my boyfriend got together in 2014. So we pretty much, not from the beginning, but once we got into like 2.5 to 3 years, we really wanted a baby. We were very young. So like I'm kind of happy that I didn't have a kid like when I wanted to have a kid, which I would have been like 16. But even though it's a year, 2 years earlier, like ahead, still kind of doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't really define your age and you know you're too young to have a kid, because there's like a lot of teens out here that are very mature for their age and they are capable of having children. So I don't really put the age thing in the way. It's kind of like a trend now, having a kid as a teenager. So yeah, so pretty much we were together since 2014. So 2014, 15, 16, when we were like 2 years, so like 2.5 years by my birthday, we wanted to have a kid. So like honestly, to be very explicit and like this is a raw video, we never used protection at all, not throughout our whole relationship. Probably like in the beginning, like literally once or twice, but it was taken off because yeah. But yeah, we just like never used protection, so like we were just whatever. And I've always thought it was very weird that we wouldn't use protection at all, like never, and literally nothing would happen. So since nothing would happen, I started to get a little bit worried after I was 16. I was probably like 16 and a half, so towards the end of 2016, I started to get really worried, and I'm like, all right, like I'm scared because has been a lot of issues with the females in my family with having kids. Many of them have miscarriages. So since that happens, I pretty much was very worried to the point where I'm like, okay, like what if I can't have kids? Like I don't know, maybe I can't have kids, maybe he can't have kids. So we were really thinking about it. So that's when literally we pretty much tried, like, you know, to have a kid without actually like planning it the right way, I would say, like actually planning it out. So we were just like not using protection, very uncareful, whatever, even though we were already doing that, but we still was like, all right, we're just gonna time it from here. And then so after you know, I was 16, so That was like the ending of 2016. I was like, all right, nothing's happening. I'm nervous, whatever. So it's December, and we're like, okay. So, you know, that rolls around or whatever. And I'm trying to think. Pregnancy brain. But, so we tried from the end of 2016 all the way to the end of 2017. And at that point I was 17 and nothing still happened, and I'm like, wow, like I don't know what to do at this point. It was just very like, it was very sad, because of the fact that I thought I couldn't have kids and he thought something was wrong. So I was just like, you know what, we're just gonna plan a kid. Like, you know, we're young, we're still in school, but I know we got it. Like, I have the skills, he have the skills, and, you know, we weren't as mature as we are now, but we still had some type of maturity in us. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna plan it. So then, the end of 2017, December, we were like, okay, January of 2018, we're gonna try to have a kid. And at that point, my mom had just had my little brother or whatever, and that was her last kid in January. So we were trying throughout the month of January. I got my period. I ordered ovulation test predictor kits. I'm supposed to be doing a video pretty soon on how I exactly planned my son, like show you guys the steps on basically like tips to conceive video for the ones that are struggling to have a child or conceive. So pretty much, I got my period at the beginning of January, the 11th, no, the 10th, and then it lasted until probably like the teens or whatever, and then I ovulated. I was like tracking with the ovulation predictor kits. I ovulated from the 20th to like the 27th, so like 7-day period, but I caught my ovulation day, which was January 25th of 2018. So once I caught that, we did it, you know, we did the deed. And the way I did it was like, honestly, I've held my, like, we'll get into that in tips to conceive, because this is just story time. So I called my ovulation day and we did, you know, the deed or whatever, and we did it throughout that whole week. And once February rolled around, towards the end of January, like the 28th of January, I remember I started to feel a little bit weird. One of my old friends joked around about me being pregnant when we went to get our nails done together and eyebrows. So I didn't really think it would work the first time. So when February rolled around, February 4th, I was supposed to get my period February 10th. So I actually got my period. It was the 10th or the 11th I got my period. I think it was the, I think it was the 10th or, I don't know. But it was the 10th or the 11th. So I was supposed to get my period, I think, oh, it's the 10th. I was supposed to get my period the 10th of February. So February 4th of 2018, I started spotting. So, but a little bit before that, I was like running to the bathroom every 5 minutes during the night, and I'm like, yo, I think I'm pregnant. Like, I have to be pregnant. Like, there's no way, like, I'm just gonna, like, randomly just start having to pee in the middle of the night or throughout the whole night. Every 5 minutes, literally, it was horrible. So I was watching like videos on basically like first signs of pregnancy, and when I was watching those videos, at this point, it's February 4th, I had started like lightly spotting, which I thought was my period. So I'm like, damn, like maybe I'm not pregnant. Maybe it didn't work. So I was looking at the video, and the doctor was saying, you know, signs of like early pregnancy is like spotting, so it, like, mimics a period, but it's very light. Was explaining all the, you know, colors of them and stuff like that. So I'm like, that's when my heart dropped, and I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm pregnant. like, I think it actually worked this time. So then my boyfriend was laying in bed with me, and I told him, I'm like, yo, I have to be pregnant. Like, there's no way I'm not pregnant. I have to be pregnant. So then you know, the 5th comes, 6th comes, 7th comes. It's closer to Valentine's Day, and I wasn't feeling well on February 8th or the 7th. I was just at work, and I just felt like sick. Like, I kind of got a little bit like sick, like stuffy, and I just wasn't feeling well, and I got headaches. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So my boyfriend picked me up from work, surprised me with like my Valentine's stuff early. So we came home. It's the 8th. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if it was the 8th or the exact day I was supposed to get my period, but that he surprised me and I was feeling like that. But I would have to check. I'm gonna check so I can get the dates right. So I started spotting on the 5th. And it lasted until the 9th. I started getting like little white like droplets inside of the toilet at like on February 10th. And the 10th is when he surprised me. It was 9 p.m. I got off for work at 9, so it was 9:08. And then later on that day, at 10:39 p.m. that same day, I went and I checked. I took a test. I like grabbed the test and I went to take it, and I was in the bathroom and I recorded it just in case. And when I tell you, soon as I peed on the stick, like not as soon as I peed on it because I let it sit for a while, and I was like talking to the camera and I'm like what if I'm pregnant? Like, I don't know what I was saying. I have the video here, but I don't know what I was really saying. But I'm just like, wow, like, you know, it's a chance. So I lift like the box up and I'm like, oh my god, like there's 2 red lines, like they're red as hell, ready, and I was supposed to get my period I believe that the 11th. So it was the 11th. I was supposed to get my period the 11th. So I'm like, oh my god, like I'm pregnant. I'm like, no way, like this is crazy. So I was looking and I'm like, wow, I'm really pregnant. All right, like all that kept going through my head was, wow, like I knew like my family probably wasn't gonna be upset. I knew his family wasn't gonna be upset at all. So that didn't, like, fear didn't cross me at all. What made me like happy was I was like, wow, like I'm gonna make him a dad. Like that was the only thought in my head, like, oh my god, like I'm finally gonna make him a dad. Like, not even me being a mom, like I'm gonna make him a dad. And that's just something that we always wanted, and like I always knew he was gonna be an amazing father, and he is. So after that, I paused the video. I called my grandma. I'm like, grandma, come upstairs now, like I need to talk to you, da da da. So I wound up going and I told her and I showed her and stuff like that. Mind you, at this point they didn't know like I was planning it or anything. So I told her whatever. She was happy. Then, you know, the next day I did like the little question video that I did on here. It's a never have I ever video that I had did with him in 2018 when I found out. And I'll put the link in the description box below so you guys can watch that if you want. And that's when I announced it to him on camera and I posted it for you guys to see. And then I also filmed his family's reaction, and I posted that as well in like a separate video. So yeah, that's pretty much how I found out I was pregnant with Baby C, aka, you know, Dominic, aka Baby C. So that's my first pregnancy at 17. So now onto this pregnancy. So I was not planning on getting pregnant. If you guys have watched my you know, basically coming back to YouTube video when I was gone for like 8 months and then I came back. 2019 was just a very hard year for me. I'm not going to touch up on that a lot because it makes me sad. But I do have a video on that. If you guys want to watch it, I'll put it in the description box below also. So let's see. With this pregnancy, it was not planned at all. I didn't want to get pregnant at all. I didn't want to have kids at all. I didn't think I was gonna have kids at all for another like 5-6 years, because 2019 was rough. Me and my boyfriend did have breakup from the end of August to like the beginning of December, and then we had got back together after that 3-month span. So we were pretty much rekindling our relationship and working on that. So I didn't really want to have any kids. Plus, throughout that whole time, I didn't want to have kids still. So yeah, so pretty much I didn't think I was gonna have, be pregnant again, especially kind of soon. My son had just turned 1 in October. So November, December, January. So then 3 months later, this year, 2020, I was 19. And I found out I was pregnant once again in February. So with this second pregnancy, one, it was not planned, like I said. Didn't want to have kids till 5-6 years. And in January, pretty much when me and my son's father got back together, me and my boyfriend, we were obviously very sexually active. I wasn't the type that was in, believing in birth control. And I always thought, birth control really, like, sometimes it does harm to you, your insides. Sometimes if you take it for a long period of time, it stops you from conceiving when you want to get off, and it makes it harder for you to conceive. So I never wanted that to be an issue, because I've always been the type to want a lot of kids. So and I did see myself having more kids with my son's father and my boyfriend when we got back together. So but like later, like 6 years, like I said, later in the future. So January rolled around, I was supposed to film, like, I'm also gonna film that other video. I'm like, literally, the talk through videos, I procrastinate on them a lot because of the simple fact that it's very loud in my house. I always have my son with me. When I get little breaks, sometimes I'll film like a makeup video that takes like 2 hours. Or my boyfriend will be like, want to watch TV, excuse me, and like, everything's in the way and he can't, and then it's like, so it's hard. So I do have to film that other video of like my weight loss journey, because throughout last year I have lost a lot of weight. Within, I believe, 2 months I lost 3 months I lost 51 pounds, and then following on, I lost like 5 more, so like 56 pounds around there. But January rolled around, everything was good. Me and him was working everything out, and I was living. My body looked amazing. It was the way I wanted it to be. I'll post like a picture here if you guys want to see. My body looked amazing. I was like killing the game. And it was just like, I was having fun. Like, my son was still a baby. He just turned 1, but still, I was just living. Like, so, January came, and, I'm chilling. I'm fine. We were very active. Obviously no birth control. And I got my period pretty much. My period is very consistent. I get it every single month, the same exact time. It doesn't really skip. And if it skips 1 day and 1 or 2 days, very rarely 2 days, but 1 day. I got my period January 10th, I believe. So that literally is like 1 day off of me getting my period with my son. So January 10th, I got my period, lasts until like the teens, same way my son was, but in 2020, I was 19. And once that happened, that was over, whatever. I was still working on my body and stuff. I think towards the end of January, I started to get like really fatigued. Like, I was just like, ugh, like, I don't want to do this. I felt very lazy. I filmed like the Oaks, PA gun show vlog. If you guys want to see that, I'll put it in the description. But that day, me doing my makeup, I just didn't have patience. The prior day to that, I like was doing like 2 braids on my hair, and I just kept getting very frustrated. I was very like impatient. I had no patience. So I'm like, yo, like, something's really wrong with me. But I didn't think pregnancy, because That would be the last thing on my mind. Like, I honestly think, okay, because me and my boyfriend had to plan my first son, that I wouldn't be pregnant again without planning it. Like, it wouldn't just happen randomly. So we were very careless. And I started to feel fatigue. The day of the gun show was like February 4th or 6th, and I was supposed to get my period February 10th. So the 10th rolled by, and the 10th I didn't get my period. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, and then I would like put my waist trainer on, and I would feel like it was very tight around my stomach. So then, you know, the 11th came, and I believe on the 11th or the 10th in the morning, I took a pregnancy test. I was actually at work, so I can pull it up now because I want to get the exact date for you guys, because, you know, I don't want to be, you know. So the gun show was February 9th, so it was a day before I was supposed to get my period, and I was just like, no. Like, that day I had my waist trainer on, and it just wasn't feeling right. Nothing was feeling right. So then I winded up taking a pregnancy test February 11th. So it was the next day when I was supposed to get my period. February 11th in the morning. I had to work, so my boyfriend took me to the dollar store, Family Dollar, and I got a pregnancy test, but I got like the first response ones, the really good ones, because I'm like, all right, if I'm pregnant, this is gonna tell me. But like, I've always had like pregnancy scares. Like, the month before, I took another test in like December, and it was negative. So I'm like, all right, I'm just tripping at this point. Like, I'm not even gonna, you know. So I'm at my job, and I take the test, and when I took the test, I'm literally legit sitting there thinking, like, all right, I'm not pregnant at all. Like, this is gonna come out negative. I'm just gonna throw it away, whatever. So I picked up the box, and 2 bright red lines. I lost it. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I lost it because my body was just getting to how I wanted it to. Like, it was like perfect in my eyes. Like, I was just living. Like, I was, you know, doing what grown-ups do, and I was, you know, partying, and not partying, but like, you know, I was just living my life, like what, you know, adults start to do. So I'm just like, no. That's how I found out I was pregnant with that one, well, this baby now. And then right after that, I got out the bathroom, and I called my boyfriend, and I'm like, yo, and I just put up the test, and I showed him, and he's like, I knew it. Like, his reaction wasn't really anything. Like, he would have preferred it to not happen at this exact moment, especially everything that is going on in the world right now. But yeah, so pretty much, he was just like, I knew it. Like, I had a feeling. And he's always, like, since we got back together, he's always have been telling me, like, oh, I'm gonna get you pregnant. I'm gonna make you have another baby. I'm gonna get you pregnant. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. Like, stop. Because, no, it's not happening. So, therefore, it happened. And I was just so upset because it's like, he planned this. He set me up. He planned this. But at the end of the day, I look at it as a blessing, because now not only is, you know, my son gonna be the only child, but he's also gonna have a baby brother, and they're gonna be exactly 2 years apart. So they're gonna have a ball, and I'm excited. But yeah, so with that being said, we agreed to not tell anyone. We just had decided to tell you know, my grandmother and like the important people. So like basically just my grandmother. And we didn't want to say anything to anyone. We didn't announce it on social media until we found out what we were having. So in April, I was like 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 9 weeks. I found out I was having another boy. So we did pick out his name, first, middle, last, all that. He obviously has the same last name as my son. But we picked out his name or whatever, and that was just that. Like, we've had our baby names picked out for years, and yeah, that was just how it happened. So that's when pretty much everyone found out that we were expecting our second again. 2 years later. 18, 19, yeah, 20. So 2 years later. But yeah, so that is just my story time on how I, found out I was pregnant with my first son and my second son, and the whole teen pregnancies. In May of this year I actually turned 20, so now I'm 20. And I'm gonna have not two under two when this one comes. So I'm gonna have 1 2-year-old when this one comes, and they have literally the same exact due date. Like, so my son's due date was October 17th, 2018. This baby's due date is October 17th, 2020. So literally the same day. But my son came October 16th, a day earlier. So this one I'm hoping and praying that they land on the same day, or a day, like either the 16th and then the 18th, so I can celebrate their birthday on the 17th, so it can be even, one won't feel bad and the other. And so yeah, we're just gonna do it like that. And I'm just hoping and praying that this baby comes out on his older brother's birthday, because we need that. But yeah, so we have his name picked out. We are not gonna announce his name at all. Not baby shower, not I think only close family members know his name. But that's about it. We're gonna announce his name when he is born. His name is not really anything special, it's a common name. But because with my first son I wanted to do something a little bit different. With my first son I announced it soon as we found out we were having a boy. A little bit later, a week later, I put up a name reveal video. I'll put that in the link in the description box below. Sorry, pregnancy brain, I can't talk. But I'll put that in the description box below so you guys can watch that if you want. So yeah, I want to do something different with this baby, so we're just gonna announce his name when he's first born. Excuse me, I'm gonna be really cute. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video. I'm very excited to be having another boy. I rather had another boy, even though I was team girl from the beginning, because I didn't want to have any more kids right now until 6 years. So I just wanted to have my boy and my girl, my set, just in case anything was to go wrong. I have my boy and my girl. I don't really need to have any more kids, but it's a boy, and I'm happy about that, because now my son has someone to play with, and they're very close in age. They're literally gonna be exactly 2 years apart. So yeah, guys, that is my teen pregnancy, story time. Pregnant at 17 and 19. So yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm honestly stoked. I am, time is just flying, and next thing you know he'll be here soon. I'm already 20 weeks and 3 days. So I'm halfway there, guys. Pray for me. That is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to follow my journey, and I'll see you guys in my next video. 15 pounds the whole pregnancy. This one I've already gained more than 15 pounds. So, and it's literally we're only halfway there, so I'm bound to gain another I'll say another 20 pounds.